Whenever the laws of any state are broken, a duly authorized organization swings into action. It may be called the state police, state troopers, militia, the rangers, or the highway patrol. These are the stories of the men whose training, skill, and courage have enforced and preserved our state laws. Of the many codes and calls in the peace officer's vernacular, the one least welcome and most speedily answered is man with a gun. Under any circumstances, this means trouble, serious trouble. And when it develops, very often it comes out of as simple a situation as the routine inspection of an apparently abandoned car.
Well, there's nobody home.
There's a rifle case in the back seat. And there seems to be some kind of a manuscript here.
Let me take a look. I can't care much about his car. The keys are still in it.
Well, maybe he's up there shooting rabbits.
Yeah, maybe he is. Let's go take a look.
That's far enough, cops. Stay back!
What'd he say?
By the way, he said stay back.
Well, he picked a good spot. No way to get around him. Practically no cover-up to use to approach him. Maybe we can drop down behind him. Come around the back of him.
No, the whole hill is just as bad. I don't get it. Guy parks his car, goes hunting, shoots at anybody who tries to get to him.
Well, there doesn't seem to be any way we can flush him out.
I'm going to see what kind of a bird we're flushing. $21.50 to headquarters.
Go ahead, 2150.
I'm on 36. I'm a few miles east of the intersection of State 249. A man with a gun. Any units available?
3817's in that vicinity. I'll send him over. Do you need an ambulance?
No, not yet. From DMV, I need a 28 and a 29. The license number is Henry David John 284. It's a possible stolen vehicle. 10-4?
10-4.
Anything yet?
Nothing. Not yet.
Artie thinks he's tough, but he's not going anyplace either.
Yeah? Well, except for that clump of brush, there's nothing else on the hillside.
He's trigger happy. He's afraid of something, but what? You know, I wish we had a crystal ball instead of revolvers. I'm going to check with headquarters. Let me know if he starts moving.
To join 2150 immediately. 4 8/10 miles east of the intersection of State 249. Use extreme caution in passing hill, as man is armed and should be considered dangerous.
10-4.
Missing for how long?
The report lists him as last seen early yesterday.
I'd get a hold of the doctor. Tell him we think we found his patient. Get him out here right away. We need his help. 10-4?
10-4.
What's he shooting at?
Us.
But he can't see us from here.
Maybe he doesn't know what he's doing. If he owns that car, his name is Pemberton. He's a rider. He writes about cops and robbers.
Don't you think he's carrying it a little too far?
Yeah, I sure do. You know, he's been reported missing since yesterday.
How do we know it isn't someone who's killed Pemberton, taken his car?
Well, that's a possibility. Why would anybody stop in the middle of nowhere, walk halfway around a hill, and wait to be found?
Doesn't make sense. Why is he shooting at us?
Well, he's been taking psychiatric treatment for the past couple of weeks.
Oh, I see.
Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I don't know. I've sent for the doctor. He ought to be out of here pretty soon. You know, I'd like to check that car again.
He's got a clean sweep to the car. Might object to our searching it.
He's up there with a gun, and he's shown us he doesn't mind using it.
Let's try and see what he's up to. Well, it's not much.
I don't think he's even blinking his eyes up there.
Don't try and come any closer, copper, or you'll get more of the same.
Can you see him?
No, but if I lay a couple of shots in there, he might come out.
No, I don't want you to hurt him. All right, Pemberton, can you hear me? Come on down. We want to help you.
Clever. They want to help me. Nobody helps me, copper!
That's what he thinks.
We're not even sure it's Pemberton.
I'll assume it is until the doctor gets here. Then we'll have a make. I've got to get close enough to talk to him.
Might get him out of there with tear gas.
No, there's too much wind right now. Look, I'm going to take off. You keep me covered. Don't hurt him. He's not responsible.
There's not much covering up there. It's pretty sparse.
Yeah, I know. Mr. Pemberton. Mr. Pemberton, I want to talk to you. Is it all right if I come up? I take your silence as yes. I'm coming up.
There's the answer.
That's his answer, not ours. That could be Pemberton, Doe, Smith. I don't know. He needs our help. He's going to get it. Let's go check that car again.
They'll nail you for sure.
It's a long chance.
All right, distract him.
Hey, you! Get away from that car!
It's Matthews. He wants us to hit the siren.
All right, coppers. You got the car. But I got this! And plenty of ammunition! I didn't mean it. God, I didn't mean to kill her.
All right, listen to me. We got your car. We want to help you. Do you hear me?
I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it, I tell you! I loved her. She made me do it. I loved her. I didn't mean to kill her!
Sounds like it's worse than we thought.
I've killed once now, I'll do it again! It's her blood in the car. God forgive me.
He's a killer, Mr. Matthews.
but you'll never take me alive. I swear you'll never take me alive!
But there was no blood in the car.
There was no blood on Pemberton's car, and yet he was apparently fleeing a crime. The crime of murder, which he had admitted committing. The shakedown of Pemberton's car revealed nothing, and the highway patrol officers could only await the arrival of Pemberton's doctor.
He's awful quiet up there. I wish he'd do something so we could keep him spotted.
There's been nothing for 10 or 15 minutes now.
But he's a bad shot. Be happy about that.
Wish that doctor'd get here.
I think you're getting your wish right now. Take it back around the bend. Dr. Stoddard? Matthews, Highway Patrol.
They explained something of the situation to me down at headquarters.
Look, can you help us?
Well, I don't know. I'll try. The problem is that I know of no reason for this to have happened in the first place. What was it that started him?
I don't know, but he's a patient of yours, isn't he?
Yes, he's a patient of mine, but this is a question of degree. Pemberton has never shown any inclination of such psychotic behavior as this. Where is he now?
Come on, I'll show you. He's up there. He's behind one of those bushes. Come on, get down here. Take it easy, Doctor. He's not very good with a rifle, but he might get lucky.
You mean he's actually been firing at you?
Yeah.
He's been moving around a little. Maybe he hears your voice, Doctor.
That's a possibility. Do you mind very much if I try to talk to him?
Doctor, we need all the help we can get.
You understand this might not work, of course. Human behavior is unpredictable at best, but somehow I always feel it's worthwhile to try to reach another human being.
You go ahead. We'll try and cover you.
Guy! Can you hear me, Guy? This is Dr. Stoddard.
Stay back!
Guy, I want to come up and talk to you, may I?
I don't know who you characters think you're kidding. There's nobody coming up here. Nobody!
Guy, I just want to speak with you for just a minute. Guy, this is Dr. Stoddard. Henry Stoddard, Guy. I want to talk to you.
Leave me alone, Bar. You won't take me?
Wait a minute. Did he call you Bar?
Yeah. Bar.
What do you think, Doctor?
No, there must be something else. We've got to have more information.
Let's take a look in the car. Maybe you can dig up something from that.
Yeah. All right. But I'm worried. In that state, he could erupt at any minute.
All right, sooner or later, he's going to come off that hill. If he comes shooting, it's going to be tough.
Bar. Somehow that's familiar to me. If I could just place it.
Let's take a look. Come on. What's this? Something you must have been working on, huh?
Yeah. I recognize this. This is a rough draft of his latest novel.
Let's take a look at these. What are they?
I don't know. Could you check the drugstore on that prescription?
I sure can, right away. Sergeant. Check this. Prescription. 117481, famous drugstore. It's on Webster Street. It's made out to Pemberton.
Right. Got something?
I don't know. Have we got something, Doctor?
Well, just an idea. We may solve the cause, but the effect. You know, I really think the thing for me to do is to try to go up there and talk to him.
Doctor, he doesn't know you. He doesn't know me. He's shooting at anything he sees. I can't let you do it.
He's up to something. He's poked his head up above the brush a couple of times. Guy, can you hear me?
Never mind you, copper. What's with the lieutenant?
What do you want, Pemberton?
What's the matter, Bar? Huh? Why don't you come up and get me? You chicken!
Lieutenant Barr, of course.
What do you mean?
Lieutenant Barr is a character in the last story he's just written, so he must be acting out the part of the killer.
What are you talking about?
Well, he was asking to talk to Lieutenant Barr, a character in the story he's just written. And the circumstances here are very similar to those in the story. So I think it's reasonable to assume that what's happening here is a reenactment of a situation that he's just written. Now, we can't possibly know the reasons for his behavior, but I would definitely say that they're due to an external force.
I don't understand. Could you explain that in layman's terms?
Well, the behavior is in the pattern of the schizophrenic. That is the split personality. But this is not a condition that comes on overnight. And if he'd been suffering from some kind of a psychosis, I'd have had previous indication of it. But whatever the reason, he now believes that he's the man in the story he's just written.
Well, what do you suggest?
Let's look at this manuscript. It may tell us something. Yeah, this is what I was afraid of.
What?
Well, according to the end of the story, the police lieutenant, Barr, goes after the criminal. Now, Pemberton obviously believes that you're Barr, so he may be waiting for you to go up there and take him.
He's got another guest coming.
Well, let me read this carefully and find out exactly how he thinks this episode will end.
Dispense number 24, SIG tab 1QID.
10-4. Got a return on the prescription.
Give it to the doctor.
Okay, Doc, here it is. Rexall tablet, hydroxycorticosterone, 25 milligrams, dispense number 24, single tablet, 1QID.
Uh-huh. Yes, that could be it.
Is that drug in fairly common usage?
Yes, it is, but it's very powerful. Now, I know Guy has been suffering from an arthritic condition. Apparently, his internist felt he needed this.
Could it have as violent an effect as this?
I've read about that drug and the effect it sometimes has. Seems incredible, all right, but I guess it happens.
Yes, it's very tricky. In the majority of cases, it's very beneficial. As a matter of fact, in arthritis and related symptoms, it's been of more value than any other single drug.
I don't understand.
Well, in certain isolated instances, particularly where there's been an indication of an emotional disturbance, this drug has been known to have a completely unpredictable effect on the patient. Now, his doctor evidently didn't know that Guy was undergoing analysis.
So it's possible that this outburst can be traced directly to the drug?
Yes, it is possible. You see, Guy has always tended to get too wound up in the stories that he's writing. And we know that this drug does have a psychotic effect sometimes on the patients who use it. These two facts combined could well give us the answer here. And if that's the case, we have more trouble than we realized.
Why?
Because according to this, the man in the story kills himself rather than be captured.
You mean he's waiting up there for us to move in on him so he can kill himself?
That's my idea.
Well, if it's the drug, Doctor, why can't we just wait for it to wear off?
Because he's liable to decide to finish the book at any moment. But before we go any further, let's see if this really is our problem.
All right, tell me, Doctor, what do you suggest?
Let me read some of his dialogue to him, see what he answers.
Okay, Doc, I'm with you.
I'll start at the beginning of the scene so we won't get him too close to the climax.
Aren't you the doctor?
Quinn! This is Lieutenant Barr. Put up your hands and come down. Come up and get me, Barr. All roads are blocked. You're surrounded. You haven't got a chance.
Leave me alone! I didn't mean it.
Well, word for word.
That's it, then.
And we've still got troubles, though.
Yeah, what now?
Well, he won't necessarily follow the story. If he doesn't like what's happening, he's liable to harm himself.
Well, we've got to get him before he harms himself without getting shot. That's going to be a neat trick.
Well, according to this, the killer is hidden in the shadows of a cliff until the sun rises. Now, as the sun comes up, the shadows grow smaller and he loses his hiding place. So he goes a little bit berserk. He tries to blast the sun out of the sky. And then finally he kills himself.
But it's not night and the sun is up.
Well, we're going to make it look like it's rising.
What are we going to do, play cops and robbers?
Yeah, maybe it'll save that man's life.
I'm not quite sure I understand.
All right, I'll explain. You're going to be Lieutenant Barr. And you're going at the top of the hill and be the rising sun. Get a mirror out of the patrol car. While you two are acting out the end of the book, I'm going to sneak up and try and grab him before he hurts himself.
I don't know. That's very risky.
Any other suggestions? Sergeant, you go get the mirror. When you get up on top, keep it shining right in his eyes.
I got it.
I'm counting on his not being able to see me due to reflected light. And, Doctor, you've got to time your reading with my progress up that hill. Don't finish before I get in position.
Well, I'm not sure I'll be able to.
You have to. His life and mine depend on it. You two are the cover if anything goes wrong.
All right, watch yourself.
As soon as the sergeant's in position, I'm going straight up. See that bush? I'm going to try and keep it between us. When I'm even with it, I'm all set. Now, in your reading, you can be late, but don't be early. All right, start reading.
Quinn! Look up there! Toward the east! That's the sun coming up. Take a good look at it. We can't see you now, but in a few minutes, we'll be able to determine your exact position. We have men spread out along the embankment above you, Quinn. They have their instructions, Quinn. Unless you surrender now, as soon as they can see you, they're going to kill you.
Why don't you leave me alone? Where are you? Why don't you come and get me?
Merritt's ready.
I know you're out there. All of you, waiting. You think I'll come out of my knees begging? Well, listen to this. I killed the copper. Me! Quinn Troiter!
All right, Doc, keep going.
What if he doesn't stick to the story?
Then we play it by ear.
It's only a matter of minutes now, Quinn. Before the sun's up, and you're out in the open. Give up, Quinn. You haven't got a chance.
Leave me alone.
It won't be long now, Quinn. We're beginning to see you.
I'll kill you, Bar. You may get me, but I'll get you first. You're going along with me.
Quinn, I'm giving you one last chance. We can see you now. Come out with your arms raised, or it's going to be too late.
Why don't you come up and get me, Bar? I'm waiting for you. The only one I'm sorry about is the girl. I didn't want to hurt her. I couldn't help it. I loved her. I loved her.
What is it?
He's all right. He's just finishing the second act.
Oh, thank heavens for that.
He's going to be mad, though.
Why?
This story didn't end the way he wrote it. week's Highway Patrol story is a very unusual one. I hope you'll be with us. Until then, remember, it isn't the car that kills, it's the driver. This is Bradley Crawford saying, see you next week.